It's the world's famous TITT. It's home team in the motherfucking house.
No question. What up, baby?
Hey, man, you already know, man. It's Davis backwards and state your name, gangsta.
Philmatic 365, aka T'Challa Manga.
No doubt. Always giving a shout out to our listeners. Thank you, everybody that checks us out from all over the world. We appreciate every listen, every share, every comment. You taking your time out to rock with the Heat Holderz.
Yeah, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us.
Special shout out to DJ Rick G's. Definitely shout out to the rest of our crew, G, Reem, War Room Sports Podcast Network, Devin, Jimmy B. Austin, the Burtons, John Appetit. And also,
man, got a lot of love for that Gangrene, man. For that Fly Guys episode, man.
Yeah, no. Was a lot of love for that. Salute to Brian Johnson, our brother. He said he listened to it right away. It's always good to get love from the ones that you hold near and dear. So we appreciate that.
No doubt. Rick G's, when he heard it, he's like, oh, that's awesome, because him and Malik and the homies, they all of them celebrating. Because I didn't tell him I was going to throw that on there at the beginning.
Yeah, that was so.
For those that didn't know, that was my DJ, our DJ, Rick G's, and his brother Malik, and their homies celebrating the Eagles' victory at the beginning of the last episode. Man, lifelong Eagle fans.
That felt like a classic '90s skit, man.
Like, it did, man. that's why another album.
I was waiting for somebody to be like, "Yo, watch the gate, Like, yo,
Brooklyn style.
Is he dead? Is he dead?
What do you mean?
But yeah, once again, man. I mean, we got a lot of brothers and sisters that are still on the Eagles high. So salute to everybody.
Flying high, man.
Also, while we're giving our shout outs real quick, of course, big shout out to Tally and Twine.
Absolutely.
TallyandTwine.com. They are the official timepiece of the Tissue and the Tape podcast.
Yes, sir.
Of course, you can go there and check out what they have going on. 10% is on us.
Yes. Use code TITT to get 10% off when you're fine timepiece. They have the new women's line, kind of fire. I'm gonna have to break the piggy bank one time.
For sure.
Although they have some specials going on right now, so you might not have to. You might just have to shake it a little bit. You might not have to break it.
Yeah, quite affordable though.
Definitely high quality too.
A bold statement. He's got a nice selection, detailed luxury timepieces.
Absolutely.
He's been featured in HuffPost, Fashion Bomb Daily, Essence. And Black
Panther, the Christmas gift guide, which was real dope.
Yeah. So man, shout out to Randy Williams, entrepreneur extraordinaire, a member of the Cypher, someone that's held it down with us and did an episode. We got to get him back on, man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
In the meantime, though, we're actually recording this episode. You know, talk about high, man. Neither one of our teams won the Super Bowl, but we felt that same type of elation walking away from the movie theater.
Absolutely, man.
from watching Black Panther.
I felt like the culture won a championship, man.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And people, it's kind of overused now. Maybe it's a word that's been a little oversaturated in our lexicon, but it really does describe how things are in terms of like just the embodiment of a whole bunch of elements. That's really what culture is, right?
Absolutely.
And as far as what hip hop is to this planet that we call Earth, it just is the culture that just dominates, just because it's just so it's
captivating.
So captivating.
it's entrancing, it's all
Yeah,
inclusive,
yeah,
it's unifying, it's definitive, it's
yeah.
forward thinking. I mean, hip hop is so many different things, man, to so many different people, but it's even though it's the culture of the youth, it's the culture of what's not only what's hot but what's quality.
Mhm. Like it really is one of those things where it's just like, yo, as long as you're dope, dot dot dot. Like it's like whether it's in the kitchen, whether it's on the court, whether it's at school, whether it's in the studio, it's like, yo, as long as you're dope,
Yeah,
whatever. As long as it's dope, as long as you're dope, as long as
using the word dope is hip hop, you know.
right, yeah. So
Taking something that wasn't from its original purpose and repurposing it for something creative. That's, you know, essentially what hip hop has done with music, culture, and everything else you could think of.
so when we have these moments like these, such as these galvanizing experiences where you just have a movie that just totally just takes over. And like I said, we mentioned it before. We had Girls Trip that definitely captivated a lot of people last
Definitely.
year. Get Out did the same thing as far as getting the word of mouth on Get Out was just crazy. Like people, by the time Sunday hit, people had gone to see it. Word of mouth, it really spread. Um, so yeah, so we've had a few in the past couple of years where it's like, okay, like y'all are starting to understand what we can do, but you and I, when we first heard about this a couple years ago, we said, okay, like this could
It's,
be knowing what Marvel has the potential to do when they do their 1-2 thing, and just knowing this story, and just as the cast started to come out and then some of the
yeah. And
production details.
you already know Marvel does some of the biggest movies, you know, to ever hit the screen, and you know
Yeah.
we're going to get into that, but just the fact that from everything that we could tell early on, they were putting all their resources behind the Black Panther movie,
Hmm.
and that's all you could really ask for. I mean, because at the end of the day, you make a quality movie, then it's up to the people to show up at the theaters, and yeah, did we show up? Yeah,
Man, listen, I mean, to the tune of $704 million worldwide, as Phil and I live and breathe right now. Heading into the end of Sunday numbers, so it'll probably change when the numbers come out again. But as of right now, just you're looking at 9 days. They've had one of the best 9-day runs since like Richard Pryor back in the '70s, man. No Marlon Brando. We're not claiming
yo,
that.
man,
But
yo, mentioning Rich these days just takes a whole
just
different
takes
meaning, man.
takes.
I mean,
I know. He used to be able to
but
say that and just get away with it, but
yeah, but no, I
um,
got what you're saying. I
you see
definitely
where I'm
understand.
coming from.
Yes, sir.
Um, but no, definitely, just 9 days of just dominance. Uh, my kid's babysitter, she actually said that she's seen it twice, and when she came over on Monday for President's Day, she hadn't seen it yet. So between, just like in a matter of 5 days, she found the time to like go to high school and then still like go to the movies twice, which was I'm like that's
Yeah.
you know.
My old boss just saw it today, and he was like,
Mm,
he hit me on instant message. He's like, "Yeah, I got to see what the hype is about." And I was like, "Yo, it's no hype.
yeah,
It is
that's
what the
almost
people say."
disrespectful. So that's
No,
that's where we're gonna start right here.
no, but hold on. I told him because he's a white dude. I was like,
Yeah.
there's no hype. I was like, in fact, I was like, when it's over, you might come out of there with an afro. So after it was over, he hit me. He was like, "Yo, it was amazing." He was like, "It was everything." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, did you stop to pick up your pick?" I was like, "Let your soul glow," because I mean, it's just one of those powerful movies. But yeah, let's start there.
Let's start there. So we all know hype beasts.
Oh yeah,
We all
unfortunately,
know, yeah, but we all know what it means to hype something up or to give
yeah.
something,
I've been one on occasion for certain
Yeah,
things. You know,
me
everybody
too. I
has, I
mean,
guess, at
but
some
yeah,
level.
I mean, it's only right. Like, depending on what your hobbies are, your interests are, there's always gonna be something that you hype up, and a lot of times you're setting yourself up for failure because it just doesn't meet whatever type of expectations you set.
When anybody hit you with the two hands, yo, you got it. Dot, dot, dot.
Yeah. So, is at this point now? I mean, you could obviously say that this lived up to the quote unquote hype.
Believe the hype.
Moving forward, do you think that they can follow up adequately? Because the bar has been set pretty high right now. We're just 9 days in.
I think they can do what most people, and we'll get into this a little deeper in a second, but I think the one thing that they can do that they couldn't do in this movie just yet is the storm element. As many people have posted and talked about in one storyline in the comic books, the Black Panther is married to Storm of the X-Men. So that's something that couldn't happen in this movie because Fox still owns the rights to X-Men. So Storm couldn't be in the movie. So they took another storyline by using Lupita's character, the Kia, which is a real character and from a different storyline within the Black Panther comic books. So one thing that I definitely need to address is that we saw all these posts and people online on Twitter saying they ruined the Black Panther because he wasn't married to Storm. No, there's multiple versions, and in one particular version, he's not married to Storm, and he's on again, off again with Nakia. So because of the legal things, they couldn't use Storm. But as we all know, Fox is being the rights to the X-Men are being purchased by Disney, i.e. Marvel. So that will be something that I assume is probably going to happen in the sequel of Black Panther, but that won't be the sequel just because you have to get in all the other characters, and the Avengers movie is coming out in May. Probably won't see Black Panther again probably until 2020, maybe probably 2021. So next decade for the VP.
So Ryan Coogler, obviously people were disappointed to discover that he's not going to be keeping the Splash Brothers, as you call it, the movie Splash Brothers, going. I mean, they're 3 for 3 as far as him and Michael B. They were disappointed to hear that he wasn't going to be contributing his talents to Creed 2. But for you, would you like to see the continuity, and do you think that it has to be in order for it to really go where it could, potential wise? Does it have to be Ryan Coogler again?
I think it should be, only because I think he's a great director. I think I think he's proven it at this point. He's been 3 for 3 for movies, and I'm not even a huge fan of the Rocky franchise, like a lot of people, but I enjoyed the new perspective on it. And he told a pretty dope story based on the framework that he was given. Being he had to stick within the Rocky canon.
Yeah.
Fruitville Station, which was his first.
That was his baby.
Huh?
I said that was his baby. That was his Illmatic.
Yeah. And then this was his it was written, if you will.
Yeah.
So
like all the bells and whistles, all the budget, all the resources.
Yeah,
whatever you need, let's get it.
So I think they're going to. I mean, there's been talk they want to do the Mansa Musa film, which would be incredible if they're able to get that greenlit. But I think they're going to work on things, whether he works on Creed 2 or not. I mean that I think based off the first movie, people, and the fact that it's attached to Rocky, people are going to go see it anyway. I don't think we're going to get the same quality without having.
So here's what he said about that. he mentioned on Variety's Playback podcast that he's not directing Creed 2, which is scheduled to eventually come out soon. Here's basically what he said. He said, I mean, of course it was possible. Creed was about my dad and me. So it's a movie that I find difficult to watch. It's difficult for me to even think about it. I've got so many emotional ties to it. Not to mention, how much I care about the people involved. I care deeply for Mike, obviously, deeply for Tessa, and I grew incredibly close with Sly in making that. These are people that I want to see do well when at all costs. There's timing in that movie. For whatever reason, it had to go when it's going. I think it's a blessing that it's going, man. It's amazing. They found an incredible filmmaker in Stephen Caple Jr., who's a guy I actually went to film school with, who I have a lot of love and respect for. I can't wait to see what he does with it. So,
Okay.
Again, just by that, like he said, Creed was about my dad and me. So when he said that right there, I'm like, So that's a movie that's difficult for him to watch. So it obviously he again kind of just poured, some of his different upbringing and things into that in terms of kind of creating that dichotomy between Donnie and Apollo. And he used that, so it came across well.
Being a director, he's an amazing storyteller. Just with like his contributions to the films, we saw it in Creed, with that father-son relationship. We saw it in the Black Panther with bringing Oakland into, which really had no connection to the Black Panther franchise in the comics, but he made it work. And when I was talking to Jim last week, he was saying that he took the different storylines from the different versions of the Black Panther comics and used the things that he added to connect them, and actually made the story more concise, more palatable for people that weren't fans of the comics or never even heard of the comics, which
or never watched
a Marvel movie.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
we know people that don't watch it. My mom is not a Marvel fan. This is the first one. I think she watched Ant-Man. Other than this, and she's seen like bits and pieces of some of the other movies, but this is the first one that she actually went to the movie theater to see. This is the first one that she ever watched, start to finish. So, and it was a standalone movie. I mean, it definitely, you can, for those that are Marvel fans, you can see where it connects to the other movies, the end credits and all those things. But if you've never seen a Marvel movie, you could go see the Black Panther and still come away understanding, the story and what they were trying to convey.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with you in terms of seeing these guys progress, and I think it really is a sky's the limit type of thing with them. They really can, at this point, if you're a studio and you're not trying to hand them whatever they need in order for them to make a project that they have that they feel passionate about, you're losing.
Hollywood's gangstar, man. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, but definitely
off the clouds right now.
Yeah, definitely. So salute to both of them, man. I actually wanted to just do a quick.
I gotta say that all the time. That says I know what it means.
DeWitt, definitely wanted to do a quick tit for tat for you. With you. And I'll answer as well, so that people can kind of see where our head is as far as the Black Panther franchise, and just the first installment. So here we go, man.
What you got?
T'Challa or Killmonger?
Oh, I knew this. Knowing how, I'm going with oh
man. So time out before you answer, or while you're thinking about it. Of course, we're definitely we're fans of the realest podcast ever, and that's Chad and Matt. And, you know, Matt. Anybody
Yes.
that follows him on social media, you know, he's just a charismatic dude. He's hilarious. He just has a certain way of just saying things. And he showed a clip of this lady that was had her bundles in, you know, that had to weave. And it started raining, and she used her child as an umbrella.
Come on,
And
man.
then
Yo, I saw that joint, yo.
and basically his caption was, "Yo, I would have kept my vibranium too."
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, and basically saying like, man, a lot of these niggas don't deserve the vibranium, man.
They don't deserve to be saved, man. Let them. T'Challa was right.
Yeah, man.
T'Challa was right.
Yo, so that being said,
T'Chaka was right.
T'Chaka. Oh, I'm going with N'Chaka, man. Killmonger, yo. Gotta use his his Wakandan government, man. It's just because I'm one of them people that would have benefited from his movement. At least in my mind, I would have. So and people like us would have benefited from that. So yeah, man, I think there's a way to do both, and I think that's also something when we talk about potential things that happen in the sequel, that's also something because in the comics Killmonger dies several times and he's revived, you know, throughout the comic. As you know, comic books have ways to bring you back, you know. So him being, you know, buried at the sea with, you know, and all that, I think we will see Eric Killmonger or N'Chaka, however, whatever you want to call him, in the upcoming sequel movies, you know. So yeah, but I'm going with Eric Killmonger Stevens, aka N'Chaka.
Okay, that's fair. I think just based off of just everything, man. T'Challa, even just his introduction to everybody in Civil War, to how he held it down in Black Panther, and then, you know, like at some point, man, I actually was kind of getting mad at Killmonger, like, yo, somebody off this. Like, he was getting on my nerves a little bit. Like, that's how well I feel like the role was portrayed. I mean, like, he was
the museum scene. The museum scene.
That was dope.
I was like, yo, this is my guy. I was like, that's the kind of disruption that the world needs. Like, the kind of like
true.
Like, just her indignation, like, you know, how could you take something? How could you steal what we stole? Like her utter disgust of, you know, somebody claiming something back that would belong to his, you know, ancestors. So I that part, I was with him from that point. I mean, knowing how this story is going to end, because the movie's called The Black Panther, you know. So still,
I'm
rooting for him to, you know, to do some things, you know.
All right, man. If you got to go on vacation, Zumanda or Wakanda?
Oh man, I heard a lot of people saying this, man. I'm going to Wakanda, and I'm not prisoner of the moment. I'm gonna tell you why. You know, Zumanda looks like a beautiful place.
Yeah.
It looks lush, it looks rich, it looks regal.
Yeah.
The world is this is a European world. I didn't see one army for Zumanda. I didn't see, you know, they all the riches they have, you know, they look right for the picking. Nobody's coming to Wakanda. You know, you might get one or two, and you see what happened to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, they had to get the inside man to even get through the door, but. And most people don't even know that it exists or don't believe that it's as advanced as it is. So I think I could go there, live in peace, not and be unbothered, and step out into the world when I want to.
I'm gonna say this, man.
And they're always ready for the smoke.
That's cool. I mean, as an impressionable young man, just watching Coming to America and just watching, all that that country had to offer from Vanessa Bell Calloway
to the iced out medallions.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the ladies in general, man. My girl Fancy from Jamie Foxx.
True indeed.
Feather.
You never forget Feather.
Hey man, they from the ladies alone, they had it going on. So maybe I didn't see a little bit more of
Wakanda wasn't no slouch though.
No, it wasn't. But just
no. I mean, Zumunda definitely got the ladies.
They got the ladies, but yeah, Wakanda just with all the technology and stuff, I think that probably would have been my choice too.
Zumunda got the LA face, but Wakanda got the Oakland booty, yo.
Yeah, that's true. It's true, definitely. Man, pound for pound, man, best actor alive, Chadwick or Michael B.
Oh man, I'm going with Chadwick on this one because he's played every prominent black human being in the history of the earth. He's played everybody but Martin Luther King, yo.
Yeah.
And like 4 movies, he's been the Black Panther, Thurgood Marshall, James Brown, Jackie Robinson. Like, come on, man. Like, I was trying to think of any other actor, black or white, that has played 4 of the most prominent people in their respective fields. Granted, King T'Challa is a fictional character, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
But I mean so I guess you would have to start with like Robert Downey Jr. He played like Charlie Chaplin and he played, Iron Man. So I mean, I guess that's where you have to start. But
yeah, and then Denzel,
he played Malcolm X.
Yeah, Hurricane Carter.
But I mean, Hurricane Carter is famous, but he's not.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if you played Ali, then you know what I'm saying? Like, sure. I mean, to like at the height, I mean, he played the Godfather of Soul, the first African American man to be a Supreme Court justice in the United States.
Yeah,
he played the first dude first black dude to play in the major leagues.
Yeah,
and the king of Wakanda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so now he's definitely
the first black superhero.
Basically. Yeah, Chadwick, it would be tough not to say him. So I think we're like 3 for we're actually you picked Killmonger, I picked T'Challa. Wakanda, we're on the same page with that. Chadwick, we're on the same page with that. Best lead cameos, Spike or Stan?
Oh man, well, Spike doesn't really do cameos so much as he's.
But I mean, let's keep it hip hop a little bit. I mean,
he gave us the Jordan 1 and you see Jordan 3.
You see where we're going.
I see where you're going.
They held him up in a scenario.
That
was a cameo. So I mean,
Spike's legendary.
Obviously, cameo, maybe not the word, but you know what I mean. Like in terms of like he's got a movie. More than likely, if it's fire, he's either starring in it or he's at least making a appearance. Like Shorty, like he's like, I don't even think that was on the historical timeline. He was like, yo, Detroit Red knew somebody named Shorty. I'm about to just put myself in this joint.
he had to have a young boy.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure Shorty did not exist. I don't remember that in the autobiography of Malcolm X. I don't remember him mentioning his homie Shorty.
I don't think so. But yeah, the Spike or Stan, man.
I gotta go with Spike, man. Just off the rip. I mean,
but at the same time though, yeah, true. But at the same time though, Stan definitely gets he gets props too. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
For what he's done.
He finds a way to be. Me and the champ was talking about like how is he going to be in this movie? Like where was he going to appear to where it made sense? And they picked the perfect spot for it to make sense. Like the only place that he really could be in this particular movie, you know, because I didn't expect to see him on the court in Oakland. I mean,
right.
I didn't expect to see him wandering around Wakanda. So you know, they picked the perfect place where he could fit in at, and you know, it still makes sense in the movie.
No doubt. Man, Nakia or Storm as far as love interest for T'Challa moving forward?
As a reader of the comic books and a fan of all things Storm, yeah. Whether it's Halle Berry or the young John that's playing her, Storm for the win, yo. Literally. Yeah. You see what I did there? Storm for the win.
Yeah. Man, I Don Juan DeMarco. No, but I had to put it in the chat. I was like, yo, I don't know if it's just me, fellas, but Lupita was looking mighty right in this joint, man.
No, she was on 11. You know, when the scale only goes to 9, she was on 11. You know?
I was like, I don't know, and nah, you know, the fellas definitely chimed in like, nah, it ain't just you, brother. Trust me.
No. She was looking she was looking extra right. You know, she was shining and glistening.
Yeah. But yeah, I like what she brings to the table. I think
she's a great actress.
The storyline as far as Storm, obviously that's something that
if we're specifically talking about the characters versus the actresses that play them.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the character, I gotta go Storm just because I mean superhero, like it just works. Like I mean she's you know, plus as one of the greatest memes I've ever seen in my life, T'Challa times Storm, you know, their kids are gonna be Thundercats, yo.
Yeah. I just don't want my man to have his nose open for too many women. So he already opened for Nakia. And then, you know, Storm comes along, that's gonna be another one. It's like, all right, we gotta pick one now. We gotta have a queen and settle down. You can't be frozen. You can't be freezing off every dope chick. Every dope chick in Africa.
I don't know how they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it through flashbacks, you know, it's like the one that got away, or she's gonna come back to Wakanda. You know, I don't know how they're gonna freak it, but they could freak it both ways and have both old Storm and new Storm in there, which would be dope.
Yeah, no doubt. We definitely we're about the halfway mark where we need to be for this. We wanted to do this for our listeners, for our audience, to let people know what we're into. This is like the equivalent of like Watch the Throne 2 featuring Jay and Nas, you know, produced by Primo for us. So something like that ever happened, we would have to make an emergency show to just document the moment.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about the impact of it for a minute, just in terms of people's reaction. Like, I've never seen Black people go full blurred / stand / you know, cosplay for a movie like they did for this one. I mean, and this started back when it was announced that this was coming out, and you know, you start seeing the memes like, "This is how I'm going to be at Black Panther," you know. And then to see people like it, I can tell you in the movie that we were in, we went Thursday, the Thursday before the official premiere day, and the theater was full, of course. 7 people in some form of kente cloth, or it was just one of them things like, yo, people really dressed up, you know, for to go see the movie. And then you saw people taking pictures in front of the Black Panther poster. You know, that was something that you never see, and that's typically something that's kind of reserved for Star Wars fans and
Yeah.
fans of the Comic Con crowd.
Yeah.
So
that was good to see. And the other thing that kind of to add on to your point was, I mean, we were seeing families. Like my man said,
yeah,
he went to the movies during the day, so there was a lot of seniors there. There was also a lot of families. Like
absolutely.
the whole row knew each other, like pass the salt, pass the peas. Like just all the way down. Basically, the whole row
And
knew
that
each
was
other.
definitely something I saw. You
That
saw
that's
a lot of.
that's terrific, man. Like in terms of
I saw
you
3
think about that,
generations
yeah.
of women coming, and and they all looked alike, but just at different stages.
Mhm.
You looked like you were looking at a time lapse almost.
That's awesome, man. To be able to do that, be like, all right, yeah, we just gonna squad up. We're gonna meet at such and such house, and we all gonna just ride out, and we all got tickets, get there early, and get this whole row, and just be able to experience that, man. Like that's
Yeah.
how it should be, you know.
Yo, and shout out to our brother Hank, who saw it in the mountains of Virginia.
Yeah,
Who saw the movie? But yo, peep this. It was a dude in there. When they get in there, they sit down. He has a hat with a Confederate flag on it.
yeah.
So
I mean,
you already like, okay, what's
yeah.
going on? He proceeds to stand out at this movie. From what I understand, I wasn't there, but this firsthand from my brother Hank and his wife and another couple that was there. Stand out. He was giving them little tidbits about the movie and everything. So basically the Black Panther is he got one for the team, yo. At least for 2 hours.
That's
I mean,
love, man. That's cool.
yo, but no, that's crazy when you think about it. Like, because those symbols just opposed to one another. Like a movie about blackness, about equality. Not only would it represents, you know, socially, but would it represent it and would it show on screen in the movie, just opposed to everything that flag represents. And
Hmm.
for that dude to be wearing that hat in that movie, standing out is an interesting dichotomy.
Hmm. No, it is. It shows you the power of art.
Yeah, he probably he's like, he probably left there and said like, that was a good nigger film when he left. Does do you think Black Panther has the power to change people's minds, like outside of the theater, in
so
terms
so
of how they view
yeah,
black
I think
people?
so. I think so, especially young people.
Mm,
Um,
very true.
because of the fact that they have less experience with whatever type of hangups about race or whatever. Like, when you see kids playing at the playground, they're not thinking about this person's white or this kid is black or this kid is Mexican. They're just thinking about who can run fast and who's willing to participate in whatever game they're
But
playing.
who can run fast? Like, come on.
But they're not worrying about that
No,
though.
but
but
no,
but you know what I'm saying though? Like it at least for the younger kids, um, this could be something that becomes the norm. How they're able to take kind of certain technology for granted in
yeah,
certain moments, and so just all these different things that for us, And then, of course, for our parents, and then, of course, for that generation that's still living, their parents, like these things that we're seeing now that are just like old hat, or just like taken for granted. Maybe something like this is something. This is the start of it, where it's just like, oh yeah, yeah, Black Panther, made 1.5 billion dollars. Yeah, of course it did. Like
Yeah,
it
to
could be the
where
start something beautiful like that. I think, and you see a
I mean
lot
that would
more.
be dope,
Yeah.
And I mean I saw another video online where the kid he was pissed. He was like 6. He was pissed because he wasn't 100% black like the Black Panther. He was like black and he was
Yes, I know.
Latina, and he
Mhm.
he was like, I want to be 100% black. So like maybe we'll get more of that.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, and I can look at Canada.
anything that shows, because a lot of the images that we see about Africa specifically, if it's not about the southern region, or if it's not about Nigeria, or just some of the more richer countries, the images that we see don't really give people a good idea of how rich in culture, how rich in resources, and then how rich in intelligence that entire
Yeah, I mean,
continent
just
is.
the vastness of the continent, because people still refer to it like it's a country, or it's a state,
Mhm.
and they don't. I don't think people really understand the magnitude or the size of the continent. That there's multiple countries with hundreds, if not thousands, of different dialects and tribes and languages. You know, the most resource rich continent on the planet. So all of these things, and there's tons of culture, obviously. You know, it, it's almost a shame that it took a fictional character to make people care about the continent. But on the other hand, you take it any way you can get it. So
Yeah,
if this is what's going to get people to care and start to really do the research and view the continent of Africa in a better light, then so be it. It's the medicine and the candy.
yeah. No, we're all for that, man. And
Yeah.
again, we wanted to give some details that really stuck out to us. A lot of times when these movies have these huge first weeks, there's these drop offs that are just
Yeah. Have a
just
spark when
so
they started, and then they just garbage.
so
Not the
as
Black Panther though.
no, Black Panther ended up having actually the largest second weekend ever.
Yeah, and it
So
and,
it
and
just
one of the
followed
things.
up, in a way that people just hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
It just got stronger.
Now one of the other things. Of course, we talk about all the good the movie has done. There was some a few people, few groups that saw some negative in the movie. I'm asking you, did you see or feel like there was some negativity in the movie?
Okay, so not negativity, but there is some chances for you to be a big cynic if you wanted to. As far as the FBI agent coming to kind of save the day a little bit. If you wanted to say, oh, here we go again, all this black prosperity, and you got these black people fighting amongst each other, and the person that came to save them was a white man. If you want to take that route, I can see what you're saying, but I would also say that you're reaching with that, as it kind of fit into the storyline a little bit.
Yeah,
But
and he was directed and coached by a 16-year-old black girl
right.
in the movie.
I
You know,
in the movie, I honestly thought, just by watching that, I was like, I wonder if that was like Courtney B. Vance, or like just any other,
random black actor. Hey,
yeah, like instead of Sterling K. Brown being T'Chaka's brother and Killmonger's dad, what if that was him? That was the nerdy, not so combat ready but decorated pilot. What if that was him? That was the FBI guy, and then that really would have just made it black. Because when I was looking at the film's poster and I saw that they had the white guy on there, I was like, oh boy, who is he? Like in terms of like, is he a villain or what?
Yeah.
And then we obviously found out very early in the movie what his purpose was going to be. So, I mean, I thought that was cool. I understand why certain things go down. Like I said, I didn't really take that from a negative standpoint. I just felt like if you wanted to be cynical about certain things, there were some things in there that you could have nitpicked and kind of maybe downgraded the quality of what you saw as far as the story being told on. But yeah, man, I just wasn't even on that vibe. Like normally I'm pretty critical about movies and stuff, and I just put that to the side, man. Like I just want to enjoy this. I don't even care about that right now. Like it almost, if some of the plot, the storyline wasn't succinct, I wasn't even worried about it. I didn't care for it to be that way, just because I was just more so excited to experience just everything with that. So
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And as far as the agent in the FBI agent in the movie or whatever he was, I see him more as like a Agents of Shield, like the Phil Coulson character, where he's kind of like connective tissue for the other movies, and I think that's how he'll be used going forward. When they do the next Avengers movie, he'll be connective tissue between the Black Panther world and America in that sense. So I didn't see him as that big of a deal, but I do get the point of him being shown as a savior. I do say, like, I don't see the savior so much as he played a role in assisting them help, and he still needed help from a young black girl, and I think that's what they were trying to show more than anything, that she was so smart that she could take this dude who, if they kept it true to the comics, is not, he's kind of like a not an idiot, but he's not somebody you're calling with with your top mission,
right?
So
I mean, that's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, so she was able to take
Hey, if national security is being banked on this happening, yeah, we might not want to send Johnson.
Yeah. He might be double O, like quadruple 07. I mean, man. So, but I think that the fact that Shuri was able to use him as basically she was like he was like the ventriloquist, the dummy for a ventriloquist, so to speak. So whatever.
Hey, like I said, I didn't really walk away with too many negative things. Yeah. I mean, I like that we were able to see, just the beautiful landscapes, even if they were computer generated or fictional, like that really could exist. And even the story about the tribes and the one tribe that's in the mountain, like I was like, that's just good storytelling.
Yeah, and then the other thing that I saw, man, was like again using the white. I can't remember what his name was in the movie. It's not that important, but he was used to divide, T'Challa and Killmonger. When they first came face to face, and I think that part was actually needed, because who else was going to? If they didn't have him, they would have had to have a black dude divide them, right? Because they had to have the conflict to make the story work,
right?
And it make sense. He represented America at that point in all the things that aren't good about America in terms of how black people are. You know, he's one of ours was the term that he used in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of meaning that he wasn't like the Wakandans. So if he's not like the Wakandans, then what is he?
Right.
You know, he's one of ours. Then means he's like us. And the first thing they called the white dude was a colonizer. So he's saying that he's more like us than he is like you because he grew up in America. So you kind of get that you know juxtaposition, and you see like American, and then Killmonger goes to say, you know, I learned from them. You know, I learned what to do from them. He was going to do what he saw America and other, you know, European, you know, or Western powers do, which was, you know, destroy and rebuild in our image. So I think his character was needed to show that juxtaposition between the two and really represent, you know, those things that America rather not be known for.
I'm with you.
Yes.
Now, where we stand now, Japan and China are still up on deck as far as the movie being released there.
Oh, they haven't seen it yet?
It has not been released there yet.
Oh, they're gonna lose it. Oh, so that's like a billion or so people. That
yeah, you know, there's definitely some untapped markets out there. Those are two of the biggest ones.
You can have little Asians and with masks and claws, you know.
Surgical mask though.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a little Black Panther surgical mask, you know.
Yo, like, why is it they're the only ones that have the surgical mask? Are they like, what do they know that we don't know?
Yo, one, the air there is like visibly bad. Like you could see it. Like it's like, oh shit, here it goes.
They be over here with it though.
Yo, no, but I see, I be worried, man. I be like, I be thinking because I be seeing people in like every now and then you'll see like a person that around our age group, and they got a mask on. I'm like, one, what do you got? Two, why are you out in the world if you got something that requires a mask? And if it's not that, then what do you know that we don't know that we shouldn't? Right. You know what I mean? So
they'd be like the ransom notes.
No, it was crazy. I had to go grab a couple things. I was making a Fat Boy Delight, and I had to go to the store, and I saw like 3 people with the mask on. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I didn't even mind it. I left.
You be on your
no, I left. I left. I went to a different store. I went to a totally different store. I was like, I don't know why they got them on, but they about to release when they be like they about to release a agent in the air. Like, like I don't want to be. I ain't trying to be one of them people on one of them crazy ass scenarios you see in Mission Impossible or something. No, man, I left. I was like, I'm going to Harris Teeter where the air is safe.
Oh man, and it's
crazy, man.
It's real.
If I see more than 2 people with the mask on, I'm out.
That's the rule, huh?
Yeah. That's my black man logic. I can't explain it, but it makes sense to me and people of my ilk.
Sometimes that's all that matters. Once again, Phil and I just needed to get some things off our chest about this movie. 704 worldwide, 413 domestic, second biggest weekend ever. Approaching that vaunted top 5 of Avengers, Jurassic World, Force Awakens, Titanic, and Avatar. It has a real chance of being able to.
Avatar's what, 2.7 million?
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and say no on that.
So excuse me, 2.7 billion.
Yeah. So Avengers is within sight. With another, with another.
It's already what, third for superhero solo movies?
Yeah.
Behind the Avengers and the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not
Yes.
Avengers. Avengers would be a group movie. Avengers 2, I think it was. Avengers 2,
Yeah.
or I'm sorry, Iron Man 2
Iron Man
and
2.
the Dark Knight.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
Definitely making a lot of noise. The soundtrack, Phil, before we get out of here, I just wanted to just mention that real quick. Top Dog Entertainment, also known as TDE.
Executive produced by K. Dot, also known as Kendrick Lamar.
You know, it just sounded good, man, when the film finally ended and the All the Stars joint came. Anybody that has been listening to the radio or is around the radio knows that that's on everybody's urban playlist right now as a joint. So it was good to see
the
visuals
that. Though,
yeah.
That's something I gotta mention before we end this.
Mm-hmm.
The visuals for All the Stars is phenomenal.
Yeah.
To the point where like the cinematography, like we talked about, K. Dot and his budget and the videos and using all the resources available to him to make masterpieces visually. But Black Panther visually is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
As the cinematography, I don't know who actually did Ryan Coogler do the cinematography? I want to say he did.
I don't know about that.
I'm
not sure.
I'm not 100% sure. I have to check on that. But whoever did the cinematography, they have to. I got it right here. As a matter of fact, it was actually Rachel Morrison. So shout out to Rachel Morrison. She's amazing because that movie it looks visually incredible, and she's worked on a few other things. She's worked on Dope. She's worked on Mudbound. There's a couple things. I think this is probably the biggest thing that she's done to this point. But as a cinema, she's worked on movies doing other things, but as a cinematographer, this is definitely the biggest thing that she's done. She's already earned an Academy Award nomination. So, and that was for Mudbound.
Yeah.
She also worked on Fruitvale Station, so that's again Ryan Coogler keeping his team intact. So definitely shout out to her. She's in the cinematography is absolutely incredible. They also just the shots that they were able to get in this movie. From what I understand, they invented a couple camera rigs that didn't actually exist prior to filming of this movie. So that's something, and you'll be able to tell with the action scenes. They're worthy of any action movie that you've seen in your lifetime. So
that
I definitely wanted to mention those 2 points.
Yeah.
And I guess I mean, I think that's it. But I guess you need to tell the people, because we didn't actually say it. We said it without saying it. But how do you rate the movie?
So, I like to keep things simple, like grading a paper, like grading an essay, English class, 100 being the highest. And then also just, maybe just have one paragraph that you might say for some extra credit. But as far as on a scale of 1 to 100, I would be remiss not to at least keep it in that upper part, that upper percentile. I probably would have to give it a 94, 95. I mean, it was a type of movie experience that I wish that I could experience every time. So that alone just made it a great time with my wife. And normally when we go to the movies, we're either disappointed or about to fall asleep in that joint. And neither one. Like I'm the sleepiest dude ever when it comes to the movies, but I was wide awake in that joint. So
Yeah, edge of the seat.
yeah, I salute them for keeping me up and not having me feel like we wasted it, our money. But yeah, I think just if you really have to give it a rating that people would understand, I think that you would have to put it in the upper to high 90s to really show what type of reverence you feel for it. What about you?
I'm right with you. Well, first of all, they had a Public Enemy poster in the movie, so that's already um they get high marks for that. But just from the things I mentioned, the cinematography, the cast, the acting, the action, it gave you all the five flavors that you want in a movie. But that alone,
I felt like the army could have been topless. I understand it's Disney, but, to keep it all the way, 100. I understand it's Disney, so you can't have naked ladies in the in the joint with spears, but it definitely would have been.
I'm leaving that one all the way alone. And then you sound like me now. But I definitely think T'Challa should have had a moment with his lady. But
you gotta
again,
yeah, to later.
Again, they trying to sell action
Panther
figures
game.
and shit.
I get
So
it. I get it.
Princess Z and the Young Kings can't be. I don't want to be in a judge like that.
Can't be distracted.
Yeah, like covering her eyes and everything. But no, maybe that'll be on the deleted scenes.
Yeah,
and I definitely give it. I'm right with you, like that 90-95 range. They get a little extra credit again for the hip hop aspects that definitely were ever present in the movie. You know what
I mean? Again, we had to do this for the people. We had to do this for us. We are excited to see what comes about with the graphic novels that have been coming out. Our guy Ta-Nehisi notes, quotes, notes, coats.
Shout out to Reggie Hudlin, man, too, who took this project on prior to Ta-Nehisi. He did the animated series on BET, which is actually extremely dope. You want to see Captain America get smacked up by the Black Panther? It's on there. It's on DVD. Is the price of the brick probably went up, on the resales. So I would definitely grab one of those if you can. It's the whole series. I got it on Amazon, a few years ago, for like, $5. I'm pretty sure it's not $5 now.
No way.
They're probably coming out with the remastered quadruple deluxe edition in a in a vibranium packaging. So definitely check that out. Also check out the what my brother was referring to, the Black Panther comics with the lead writer Ta-Nehisi Coates. Also Black Panther and the Crew, which features Storm and Missy Knight and Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, not Iron Fist. Fuck out of here. Luke Cage.
There's a lot going on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe these days, man, and I'm definitely excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, man. And shout out to all the people that put their money down to go see the Black Panther. And
so here's one last thing, Phil. When is it all right for someone to use the Fire Stick, or for someone to pop in the bootleg? What's the cutoff date where you say,
I feel like all right, here I go. I feel like if you bought a ticket then you yourself can, if you want to watch it again and you don't want to
Mhm.
go buy another ticket,
Mhm.
I mean, you've done.
Right.
It's like if you buy a CD and then you uploaded it and put it on your iPod versus buying
Mhm.
it on iTunes.
Right.
You know, if you bought the CD, I don't think you need to go buy it on iTunes too. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's how I look at it. So if you bought a ticket, have at it. You know what I mean, that's my personal opinion. I'm one of those people that still I don't like to see action movies unless I see him. Like I had such a badass experience with with Wolverine,
Mm.
but and I just like to see action movies in the theater. I'm one of the people that like to go to the movies.
Yeah.
I like the
That's
atmosphere,
it's a
and
whole
I can
experience.
and you can only recreate it so much, without spinning a grip. You can only recreate that experience so much in your house. You know,
Mhm.
I have a pretty dope setup, and it's just not the same. It's just something that shared experience that you
Mhm.
get in a great movie, like I got at Black Panther. So and definitely
Yeah.
shout out to all the Melanin Challenge people that came out. Shout out to y'all. We couldn't have done this without y'all. Um, you know, especially all the ones that were, you know, that I'm pretty sure have to have black spouses at the crib or black children because they were,
Yeah.
when the dude when Suri called dude the colonizer, the loudest laugh came from the whitest person in the spot. You
Yeah,
know,
that was cool though. I was like, wow, I
yeah,
gotta use that one. That was cool.
yeah, and so I was thinking like, he was either overcompensating or he has a satin pillow that gets laid down next to him every night.
No doubt, man. Again, man, Florida is normally where they used to stick the movies that they weren't sure what they were going to do. Black Panther, you know, I think you could write your own ticket, man. You could be at Christmas, what you want to be, 4th of July, like as long as it fits into that schedule, I think they'll definitely be writing their ticket.
Oh yeah, Black Panther
For
2
years ago.
is you got any predictions before we get out of here for Black Panther 2? I know we still fresh on one, but you know,
um, yeah, I mean,
see if we can
I
get our
guess,
Simpsons on. They predicted the curling champion
yeah.
in the 11th.
I'm guessing that something will happen to where the country actually does get found on a wide scale basis, and they have to do what they can to protect the vibranium. So yeah, I think it might be something along those lines. We'll definitely have to probably encounter something like that.
Do we get the scene where Black Panther KOs Captain America?
I know that for whatever reason they fight over the shield every time they see each other.
Yeah, because the shield is made. It has a vibranium coating on it, which
Yeah,
is why it's indestructible. And so he's like, "Yo, how did you get that?" Like Black Panther's like, "Yo, that probably belongs to Wakanda. It probably was red, black, and green at one point.
yeah.
Just saying. It was probably like one of them artifacts that was in the museum,
Hmm.
and Tony Stark pop. Big Tony. He was an OG colonizer, so you know what it is. But um, yeah, I think we get that scene, and I can't see a world as long as this Fox deal goes through. I can't see Black Panther 2 dropping without Storm being a
Yeah,
part of it in some way.
yeah. And we'll definitely see because I know they're looking for ways to reboot that franchise and kind of get it back up to a level
Yeah,
where
and that may be the way they
everybody loves it.
introduce the X-Men into the Marvel universe. It'll probably come before then, but into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which it hasn't officially been a part of as of yet.
Yeah. Filmatic, man. I enjoyed talking about this movie.
Yes,
I'm,
sir.
I'm looking forward to it moving into the upper echelon and hopefully breaking more records. And for these four actors that were lead and supporting as far as male, female, hope they do exactly what they need, in order to just see the franchise uh, keep going.
Yeah. Shout out to Wakanda for fixing Forrest Whitaker eye. Um, shout out to Angela Bassett for just being Angela Bassett.
Yeah, for
Sterling
sure.
K. Brown,
Yeah.
best actor in the world.
Yeah.
You know, this is like the real This Is Us. You know,
For sure.
so and just shout out to the entire cast and everybody that had anything to do with Black Panther. It's a great movie. It's a great it's great to have that feeling that it gave for the culture, for Black people, not only in America but around the globe. And the numbers don't lie, you know. So keep that going, and we're gonna keep bringing y'all doing what we do, and you know what it is, Vod.
Filmatic, take us out with the fader.
Okay, gang. Work for the money, live for the love, and die for what you believe in. This is Tissue and the Tape. Respect Heat
Respect Heat
Holders.
Holders.
Oh, yeah, spoiler alert.